one wrong decision, one mistake after another, that leads us to sin. Okay? So we'll see here in the life of David, King David, in 2 Samuel 11, verse 2 to 3. Okay? One night, David was walking on the rooftop. Okay? That time, the roof is flat. It's not like our roofs these days. So he was walking at the roof of Uriah the Hittite. So you see there, David looked at Bathsheba from the rooftop, and then he lusted because she's pretty, and then he committed adultery. So there's a progression. Okay? So Jesus knows us. He knows us. We are His children, and He knows that our sin, it doesn't start with our bodies. It doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts with what we think. Okay? So Jesus wants to raise the bar. Jesus don't just want to stop us from committing adultery. He exposes this infection. He exposes our heart-level appetite. So it's not just what you do with your body. Okay? It is what your heart wants. It's our desire. It's in there. It's a heart-level adultery. Jesus is ripping the Band-Aid and exposing this infection that we try to hide with other things, but Lord sees our heart, right? So He uses this word, epithumeo. So I researched this word. It actually is linked whenever the Bible mentions lust. It also, it's like synonymous to greed, idolatry, and coveting. Those words are all used all together in the Bible. So let's talk about greed. What is greed? It's not just you want money. It's not just about money. And I know this is a sermon for a different time, okay? For a different day. But there's Abraham, there's Job. There are lots of rich and wealthy people in the Bible. And it's not bad to have money. It's not wrong to have a fair amount of money. But what do we do? It's not necessarily wrong, but what do we do with our money? So what is greed if it's not wrong? If it's having money, it's not wrong. Greed is being selfish with your money. You just want it all to yourself for whatever gain He could give you. Greed is also addicting. You want more of it, right? You can't stop it. I just want to keep working, and we become workaholics. Keep getting money, work too hard, work ourselves out, right? We become addicted to money, and we fantasize. We imagine, oh, what am I going to do? That's how you know you're a greedy person. You keep on, planning is different from fantasizing, okay, my beloved friends. So we always think that, what am I going to do if I get this much money? I'm going to go to this place, I'm going to do that. You fantasize over and over, okay, what we're going to do with that money. So we see money, we look at money to give us security. Like when I retire, God is our security. Only God. Everybody say only God.
Only God.
Only God can give us the peace and can give us the security. So greed for sex is also like greed for money. Okay? Greed for sex, sexual idolatry is selfish. I just want to get the pleasure. I don't care about giving it. It's addictive. You just want it. Wherever you want it, whenever, whoever with, you're craving it. And you're fantasizing it. It's fantasized still. You think about daydreams, right? Fulfillments, and you get emotionally high. Lust. Okay? Lust wants more, but love wants to give. Okay? So we look to sex for fulfillment, for our worth, for our identity and peace, and only those things we can find in Jesus. Okay? Jesus alone. Right, let's look at the Samaritan woman in John as a good verse. Okay, let's start from 14. But whoever drinks from the water that I will give him will never get thirsty again. In fact, the water I will give him will become a well of water springing up in him for eternal life. So the woman said to him, give me this water so that I won't get thirsty and come here to draw water. Go call your husband, he told her, and come back here. I don't have a husband, she answered. You have correctly said, I don't have a husband, Jesus said. For you have had 5 husbands, and the man you now have is not your husband. What you have said is true. Sir, the woman replied, I see that you are a prophet.